Welcome back, all our 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
I'm Lane.
And we are here to finalize the Nation Tournament. That is right. After today, we will crown a champion. Will it be me? Or will it be me?
Yeah, okay.
All right, so let's get to what the deal is with this. So, since we thought we had a great tournament, great bunch of matchups, everything went really well. However, in the end, Grey Knights and the Necrons were the ones to go to the finals, which means that Lane will be playing the Grey Knights.
I will play the Grey Knights.
For one reason and one reason only. He hates the Necrons with all the passion.
Yeah, I hate them so bad that I don't even want to take advantage of their abilities and play them. So I'm just going to stick with the power.
I have asked him a bunch of times. I've said, hey, do you want to do let's do something crazy. You bring your own, like I can't even finish a sentence with this man where I will say, hey, I got a great idea.
Yeah.
You bring your army over and then you play my, no, exactly. I can't even finish it. No, just nope. But being the fact that Lane has a lot of experience with Marines, he's going to be playing the Grey Knights, and he also has a lot of experience with the uppy-downies of the army. So it should be interesting, though. I mean, in all honesty, though, you have played against Grey Knights a bit. They are a unique and interesting army. Are you looking forward to playing them today?
Yeah, it'll be fine. You don't have very many data sheets in the army, so it's not like I've got 15 different data sheets I need to worry about. No. It's really just squad of Terminators, squad of Purifiers, and then the Nemesis Dread Knights, even though
Dread Knight chassis.
Yeah, there's two different variations of it, and there's a couple characters in there, but yeah, it's...
For the most part, it's relatively simple. You played against it enough times, you get the up-down concept of the game. As you've done with Death Watch. At the beginning of the edition, that was something that we were both, our lists very much so mirrored each other in that aspect. You had more damage output. I was playing more of the missions. As it went on, you were starting to build in more missions, and then suddenly Games Workshop blessed me with side cannons, and I said, here, let me blow up the whole world.
Yep.
So basically what's going to happen is, whichever army wins today will be crowned the first champion on the channel. All this is going to be explained in the post-game. All of how we're going to move forward with the title, with the championship, everything's going to be explained in the post-game. So if you're curious on that and how we're going to handle all that stuff, stay tuned to the post-game. But for now, we're going to jump over. We're going to get into the game. We're going to get into the championship match. And Lane, why don't you let me talk about the army that you're playing today?
You don't want to listen to me fumble through the Grey Knights?
No, why don't you go ahead and talk about it, and I'll correct you where needed.
All right, we got a couple big ones over here, and there's some little guys. Looks like a couple have some big guns on them, and that's what I'm playing today.
And for those of you that need translation, there's 5 Dread Knight chassis. 3 are regular Dread Knights, 2 are Grand Masters. All the Dread Knights have hammers, side cannon, and silencer, except for one Grand Master that has a sword. The Grand Master with sword has a sigil of exigence. Wow, that was difficult. And the Grand Master with the hammer will have First is Fray to give him +1 on his charge at advance. Other units, we do have a Tech Marine to do a little bit of fixing and also giving a +1 buff. He's going to be hanging out by himself. Then we have a 10-man squad of Terminators and led by a Grand Master with First to the Fray, first turn deep strike, as well as a 10-man squad of Purifiers led by Castle and Crow. DJ, why don't you tell us what you're bringing with the Necrons today? Oh man, after hearing that epic description, I don't know if I can do this justice. All right, here we go. With the Necrons, we got bugs. Lots of little skittery bugs. Triple Doomstalker, 2 6-man squads of the Wraiths. We have 3 2-man squads of the Spiders, 2 Canoptek Tomb Sentinels. We also have the 6 Scarabs, which are a recent addition. We still have our 2 Technomancers that are going to be going with the Wraiths, and a new test today. We are dropping the Crypt Thralls.
I'm so excited.
To bring a second Psychomancer.
2 of them.
Yes.
I'm going to pass some Battle Shocks. That's my goal for this game, is to pass some Battle Shock tests.
Yes, and my goal is to make you fail them. But realistically, I don't know how I like the ability. I like the fact of being able to shoot it out there multiple times. I feel like that gives me more efficiency behind it, unless I'm playing against Lane, in which case I only need to make him just say, "Tier, take a Battle Shock," and he just fails them.
Yep.
But to have that efficiency seems good. You know, I can't base that I'm going to play against Lane all the time and that he's going to fail all the Battle Shocks.
Some people will pass them.
I know, some people will actually pass. But seriously, all jokes aside, that ability is really strong. And having a second one could be very valuable. Also, going into Pariah Nexus, Scarabs are OC0. So having an extra Cryptek body to give the Scarabs that OC value could be necessary. It also could just be too much. I do like having the bulky Wraiths with the extra Crypt Thralls, so we'll see how it plays out today with everything. This game will be our last of Leviathan. This is the So Long Leviathan game, and after this, it's going to be all about Pariah Nexus.
Heck yeah.
Lane and I are going to be traveling to Battlegrounds and board games this weekend, which will be our first taste of Pariah Nexus. They are not going to be using the data slates because we're not really sure on the release date of them. But we will be using all the new missions, the new cards, and everything like that. So we're going to get our first taste of it. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy.
3 games of Pariah. We'll learn a lot about it real quick. Hopefully they pick missions that are unique and new. You know, hopefully they don't pull the same missions that we've been playing.
I agree. And only one I'm hoping is I really don't want to have to measure out. I don't want to do the new step deployment, just because I feel like after we get some times to mess with it on a table, like at a household and that stuff, we'll start to figure out how to measure that out quicker.
Yeah.
Right now, that's one I don't want to mess with. But if it is the case, it is the case. I know that it definitely is. I agree. Give us the new. Even if the new is not that good and could be clunky, like the new Servo Skull mechanic, I still would love to see it just so we can actually see and go, okay, that's a bad idea. Definitely looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. And this is going to be the beginning of me being able to start playing 40K again competitively and getting out there. New job, new life, new me, new year, new me.
Same old me, guys. I'm going to stay the same. He's all new. So
I have the dice already taunting us. All right.
You warmed it up for a stand.
Yeah. So Lane, I'll let you call it since that's traditionally. And I did win the last game.
You did.
Let's see what happens. Lane,
even.
Not this time. Nope.
It doesn't count. It's on terrain. Okay.
Tit on terrain spud. That didn't count. Yes, it landed today. That is an odd number. Lane, you will be deploying first.
All right.
And we'll be back after deployment. There we go. Lane has deployed the Grey Knights. And we are all deployed and ready to go. Lane, talk to us about what we are doing for this championship contest.
Well, we are playing Warhammer 40,000, and for the final time on the channel, we are playing Leviathan missions. So our deployment today is search and destroy, table quarters. The special rule today is hidden supplies, which means an extra objective in the middle. And we are playing supply drop, otherwise known as Alpha and Omega. So 2 of these objectives will disappear throughout the game. And as that happens, the value of the objectives in No Man's Land increases.
Actually, 3 of the objectives will disappear. So one of them will disappear turn 4. And then the last turn, all the rest of them will disappear except for the Omega objective.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes. We will, no matter what, we are always left with 1 objective.
All right. Yeah, okay.
For that 1 turn, there will be an additional 1.
Yeah.
And when are we supposed to determine that? Before we determine who goes first?
I don't know, DJ. You think after playing Leviathan for a whole year, we'd know.
Right.
It says at the start of the battle. So
start of the battle. Okay, cool. So we're not doing that yet. All right, fair enough. So deployment for me. All right. So I put the Doomstalkers back here to kind of to zone out so that Lane cannot 3-inch drop the Terminators in on me. No space in here to be able to drop those guys, and we're good to go. Just in case he gets that first turn hit on me, so I don't have to worry about having them in my backfield right off the go. Then we got a cluster of Canoptek, a Canoptek cluster. I love it. Over here, ready to roll, ready to go out towards objectives as the game progresses. We have another Canoptek cluster over here, ready to go out, get ready to get in it, and go out there as the game progresses with the Psychomancer up in there. And then these is the infiltrating Wraiths that are also in that position. This is a weird matchup because of the fact that I really can't, I just kind of got to cover the board because Lane can be anywhere and everywhere all at one time.
How do you like that, DJ? How do you like playing against Grey Knights?
Well, let's find out. Lane, what did you do?
We're just all on the table here. So this one is the Grandmaster who has the Sigil of Exigence, which means that when he's targeted by a shooting attack, I can pick him up and bop him anywhere else on the table. So we'll see if DJ decides to shoot at me early to get rid of that, or if it's going to stay till later game when I probably will forget about it. Or other than that, we've got 1 Nemesis Dread Knight and 1 Grandmaster in Deep Strike, along with the Terminators in Deep Strike, and then the Purifiers are just here on the objective, holding nice and cozy there. That's it. Tech Marine here, ready to buff somebody.
All right. Now it's only one thing left to do, Lane. I'm pretty sure you want to go second in this matchup.
I think that's what I'm supposed to want. So yes.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's see what the dice decide. Hey, you get your wish. You will be going second. So there's no scout moves, nothing else special. So we will be back after the Necron turn movement phase. Well, turn 1 begins as quick as it ends. So we got capture enemy outpost and what was the other one I got?
Deploy teleport.
Deploy teleport. Thank you. So what we did here, we moved the wraiths up and broke one in the process. Got to fix them. And when we were getting ready to charge the Dread Knight, that is no longer there because he's over there.
I missed some demos, guys.
Feels good. Feels good.
I guess.
So he is off the table as of right now. But that means we were positioned 6 inches from center, so we will at least get 3 points on that secondary. And then the rest of the army just kind of spread out for some coverage because not really too much that we could do. So we pitched capture enemy outpost for a command point, and that's going to be it. 3 points on a secondary, and pass it over to Lane.
So we pulled tempting target and area denial. DJ tempted me here with this target. I was able to move my tech marine up to take that. So I have taken the tempting target. For area denial, I could have moved a Nemesis Dread Knight into the middle here. However, then these guys would do a counter move. And I moved up my purifiers so they could take shots here. So basically, I don't want him to move away and make it impossible for me to shoot these wraiths. So I'm not getting any closer to them. So that's the way it's going to be. So I don't think we're going to get area denial. Well, we get baby area if you're not there. And then dropped in the Terminators here because they have first to the fray, which allows them to deep strike turn 1. And that is the Grandmaster, what teleported away with Mr. Demos before. Because he was on the table at the start of the game, he's able to come back on in turn 1. So that's it. Really just going to try and shoot these wraiths. Hopefully do some work there. And then shoot the wraiths that are over here and hopefully pick up 2 or 3 of them. See what happens, guys. Okay, so all these guys shoot and kill 3 wraiths. DJ failed some saves, but he spiked his 5-up. Feel no pains real hard on those guys. And then over here, the Terminators went to shoot, but then DJ said, no, you're not allowed to shoot me if you're more than 12 inches away. So the Grandmaster here did shoot, and he picked up 1 and did 1 wound to one of those wraiths. So not very much shooting done there. We're just going to see if we can make a charge here with the purifiers. That'll be fun. Well, I told myself I wasn't going to go for the wraiths, and here I am, putting my whole army to wraiths. And it goes quite about as you expected. Despite the fact this 10-man brick, Prusk, the Stellan Crow charged in here, we managed to kill 1 whole wraith. DJ did pop his stratagem to reanimate when they're the subject of a charge. So the one that was at 1 wound, did he heal back up to full, and I killed him and just did a wound to this guy. So that's it. Not a whole lot. I did only take 1 wound in response, so at least I didn't take a lot of damage. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I score 5 for tempting target, and I'm not going to get area. Oh, I get 3 for area denial because you're not within 6 of the center. So
I am within 6. He's within 6 of the center because that guy.
It's a stretch.
Nope, he's just out.
Okay.
So there you go. Have your 3. Have your 3.
I'll have my 3. On to DJ, sir.
Looking at cleanse and secure no man's land. So secure no man's land is pretty simple. I did a lot of moving. Got really progressive out here. So let's see what we did. So we moved the wraiths forward right into here because this objective happens to be pretty important. And there is a bulky Terminator squad that has 30 plus on the OC value. So that's going to take some work to clear that one.
It's mine.
And then we have the Grandmaster hanging out over here. So it's going to be a fight. So we brought down one of our Sentinels. Since that unit's on the objective marker, we get an additional AP when we're shooting at them. So that's what we're going to do. We also put some things in position. So we have this Doomstalker can go on both the Terminators or the Grandmaster if the Grandmaster chooses to stick around. This Sentinel, same deal. Spiders, so the one spider is behind the wall. He's not going to be able to see the Terminators. This guy can see the Terminators or the Grandmaster, depending on what Lane wants to do. So that'll probably be our first choices when we start shooting. This guy, he's got a target all the way down here, into the purifiers. Also joined by his buddy over here, who's going to shoot down this lane and try and hit those purifiers. Got a good amount of damage to go in there, as well as some spiders that moved up to get all spidery and stuff. Then these wraiths fell back. So what I did was I moved everyone forward so I didn't eat the overwatch from the purifiers. And after everyone moved into position, then the wraiths fell back so everyone was safe. And then this Psychomancer got all crazy. He got crazy with it and came over here. So he's going to cleanse. He tried to scare the purifiers, but Crow ain't afraid of no ghosts.
No, I ain't scared.
All right. Now we're going to do some shooting. 11 devastating wounds from the spiders into the purifiers. I don't think I did a single... What's that?
I was going to say two-man, so it's total four spiders.
Yes, 4 spiders.
I made every single save.
Yeah, every save was made. It was just the dev wounds that picked up purifiers.
Just the 11 dev wounds.
So we tried in the command phase to make this squad battle shock lane pass, and then we used the second Psychomancer to hit him again to battle shock him, just so we couldn't get armor contempt. And now we don't have to worry about the overwatch over here, which is nice, which is true silver for this army, by the way. Now, over here, the Terminators, this was the story. So we shot. Lane did choose to sigil out the Grandmaster. We'll come back to him in a second where he went to. And we shot everything into them. It was the Wraiths, 1 Spider, the Sentinel, this entire conga line, this Doomstalker, not this one. And the Doomstalker did the most work.
Yeah, 1 Doomstalker picked up 4 guys. So.
Yeah, he hit hard. That 3 damage was enough to do the work. So now there's 4 Terminators and the Grandmaster left. Still tough because the Wraiths don't do that much, but we're still going to charge in there and try and fight them. Now, speaking of that Grandmaster, he's in a scary position. Lane and I were discussing it. One of the things that I always hate is, like, I was shot at him with the spider, and Lane was considering not, making me burn the shots into him. And I was like, every time I think about that, and I bet there's people in the comment section that'll agree with this. It's like you think about it with the sigil, and you're like, oh, it's AP 0. I can just save it off. And then next thing you know, you take like 7 damage, and you're like, great, I should have sigiled. So Lane played it safe, probably something I should do sometimes with him. Bounce him away, and he is in position to wreck this Doomstalker and actually kind of wreak havoc over there a little bit. So, all right, that's going to be it for the shooting. Got a couple charges, and then we'll finish out the turn. So in here, the Terminators popped true silver armor, which slowed me down. I was able to finish off the Terminator that had damage on him, so there's 3 Terminators left and the Grandmaster, one of which will be coming back. And Terminators in return picked up 2 of the Wraiths. Over to here, the spiders charged and ripped the Tech Marine through the window, and he didn't like that very much, so he went bye-bye. Over here, the Scarabs were able to finish off the purifiers, and the spiders were not able to hurt Crow. Instead, they actually took 4 damage themselves. Crow standing there in full-fledged beast mode. So we're going to get 5 on Secure No Man's Land and 5 on Cleanse, because we cleansed 2 objectives. And we're going to pass this over to Lane and see how he can answer back.
All right, I pulled Bring It Down and Secure No Man's Land. Real struggling on primaries and controlling objectives here. So we're scooching over.
Terminators battle shocked.
Terminators failed their battle shock because I always fail battle shocks. That's what the channel demands. And so I moved over with this Dread Knight, scooched this Dread Knight over here. I scooched the Grandmaster around here. DJ spent a CP to counter move this guy away. And then I brought in the other Grandmaster. This is the Grandmaster one?
Yes.
Okay, he gets +1 to his charge.
Yes.
Okay. And then this Nemesis Dread Knight dropped in here. So
how much I love hearing Lane say, I moved a Dread Knight.
Yeah, I moved a bunch of Dread Knights. So we'll see how good the Dread Knights are, guys, because that's basically all I have left. Maybe those Terminators might survive. So I'm going to punch and shoot. No, I'm going to shoot, actually. No punching yet. Shoots. So we did a little bit of shooting. Got this Doomstalker down to 3. Picked up the 2 spiders that were in the center here. Didn't pick up either of these spiders. Got one down to 1 wound, which is not super helpful. And picked up 2 of these Wraiths. So
Just one Dread Knight over here was the one he just put 9 wounds on with a Psy Cannon. Like, oh, yeah, let's just throw 9 on him.
Yeah, so I kind of got through there. Yeah, I'm going to roll for some charges, see if we can make anything happen here. So let's do it. All right, we picked up some Scarabs, but not all the Scarabs. I charged in with this Nemesis Dread Knight and Tank Shocked, and DJ pulled the Wraith that was closest to me. So he didn't get to fight because he couldn't pile in past the building and get in there. So he didn't get to swing. The Wraiths did pick up 1 Terminator, but the Terminators picked up 2 Wraiths when they got to swing here. Over here, we did complete a couple charges. This Grandmaster Dread Knight got into engagement, and so did this one. However, this guy completely whiffed. And even with his rerolls, DJ still made his 4-up invulns. So this thing has
6 wounds remaining.
6 wounds left. So, yeah, that's about it. Not a whole lot. So bring it down. We just killed 2 spiders. That's it. And then secure no man's land. Didn't pull off because I don't think I out OC you here because the Terminators are scared and battle shocked.
Yep, and I have 4 to your. I have 5 to your. Yep.
Yep. So on to DJ's turn.
So we're looking at Storm Hostile Objective and Defend Stronghold. So defending the Stronghold is actually going to be kind of difficult, considering that right now I am controlling my home objective with these little bitty Scarabs. So that one's going to be kind of difficult. But the positive point is we do storm the Hostile because as we moved up, Lane chose to Mist of Deimos and just shift the Dread Knight back. So now the Dread Knight's off. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say he was in engagement range of this Doomstalker. But when DJ fell that Doomstalker back, I then Mist of Deimos away.
Which, to be honest, I was trying to trigger it.
Yeah. But if he stayed here, all these Doomstalkers would have been able to shoot in here, and he could have gotten more units to shoot in and really do a lot of damage to him. And then the Scarabs would have done at least D3 on the charge. So just trying to keep him alive a little longer, even though that lets DJ score his points easily.
Right. So we are, though, able to shoot the Grandmaster over here, so we're going to try and put some damage into him. On other points, we scored 15 on primary, and then we moved the Psychomancer over here. Both my Psychomancers tried to battle shock the Dread Knight and failed. And then the race moved up, and they moved over Crow and moved back, so they did finished off Crow. Words. I still got to do my heals with the Technomancers, actually. I forgot about that. Over here, we are bringing in some massive destruction. So we brought these spiders and the centipede around. These spiders over here came around. This centipede over here came around, or it came down out of Deep Strike. And we're going to put all of that into the Dread Knight and hopefully be able to pick him up just to get him out of here. Because again, this objective is super important to the end of the game. And we still have to deal with these 4 Terminators. And they're kind of winning that battle of attrition versus my Wraiths. So, all right. We need to do some shooting. It is tough being on the other side of the Dread Knight armor. So we put both Sentinels, both squads of spiders, into the Dread Knight and dropped him down to 5 wounds. Saved everything. It was just the dev wounds from the spiders that did some damage. And the Sentinels. This Sentinel specifically over here. He was the one who just... Actually, no, I think it was this guy. Either way, one Sentinel did good, one Sentinel did bad. Over here, Doomstalkers fired away. And we're able to bring the Grandmaster down to 7 wounds. Lane did pop True Silver Armor, so that was able to definitely helped out a lot. We got the 2 hits through, so we were able to do 6 damage onto him. And then tried so hard with the Psychomancers, but they missed. Such a nifty gun. Strength 6, AP 3, flat 3 damage. So what we have left is some charges. Oh, there were some pistol shots at the race that really didn't do much anything. All right. So now it's time to do some charges, and we'll see what we can charge in and what remains. So, not too bad. The things I needed to have happen over here worked. These spiders walked in there and ripped the Dread Knight to shreds, and then fell back just to ding that objective 3 inches away, so that was nice. And then these spiders were able to help in beating up these Terminators. So we're down to 2 Terminators, one with 1 wound remaining, but the Terminator's about to come back, and the Grandmaster. He turned around and picked up a Wraith from me. And then over here, we decided to charge with the Scarabs. getting risky with it, getting shaky. It was a shaky play, and the only damage we did. It was funny how much damage the Scarabs did. Did they get anything through on him? I don't think they did. I don't think they did.
He exploded one.
That was it.
For
yeah,
3.
The explosion for 3, I think, was it. So that was good. Oh no, you know what? He was at 7.
Failed,
so yeah,
I failed a couple saves too. Yeah,
Scarabs eating Dread Knights. Love it. Over here, the Dread Knight was able to pop one of my Wraiths, and no one was able to even hurt him at all or touch him in any sort of way, shape, or form. So that is going to be it for my turn as of right now. So we will get Storm Hostile for this objective that we're able to take. And I did decide to pitch Defend Stronghold for a command point. I could hold on to it and try, but having 3 Dread Knights over here, I feel like they're about to take this objective and be able to clear me very easily. And I think I can make better use out of an extra command point. All right, passing it over to Lane.
I kept Secure No Man's Land from last turn, and I pulled Storm Hostile Objective. So I should take the Hostile Objective pretty easily on his home field, but that doesn't really score me any other points. I've got these Terminators here. Hopefully they survive to get Secure No Man's Land, and hopefully this Dread Knight can make a charge into here. It's Grandmaster has +1 to his charges, so hopefully he can make it in there and get that guy and secure me No Man's Land. All right, we're going to do a little bit of shooting, a little bit of fighting. Shooting, we finished off the Wraith and the character that were here. Picked up one of the Doomstalkers. One of the Grey Knight, Nemesis Dread Knights whiffed, but then we put some more wounds on this one, got him down to 2. So that's it, on to some charges. So this Dread Knight did finish off the Doomstalker and then consolidated back onto the objective. And the Psychomancer swung into him because I did consolidate into him.
He wiggled at him.
Nothing happened there. But the Scarab blew up and killed the Wraith, the Nemesis Dread Knight that had 2 wounds left on him. And so he's gone. And then over here, just 2 more Terminators died. No damage effectively done by the Terminators. I think 1 wound got through on the Wraiths. That's it for my turn.
Yeah,
so
this magic happens.
And this disappears because we are playing Supply Drop. I did not secure No Man's Land because we're tied on this one, so I'm just going to discard that. And Storm Hostile Objective I did get for taking DJ's home field.
For starters, we drew Investigate Signals. I pitched that away and ended up getting Behind Enemy Lines and Overwhelming Force. So we need to kill a unit on an objective. Hooey. So we got 2 over here. The Grandmaster and the Terminators, which are down to 1 model. So hopefully that's going to be where we can do that. Just brought the Sentinel over, going to try and charge him in. The Wraiths are battle shocked at this point in time. So I had to keep the Spiders over here just kind of dangling on this objective so I could keep Canoptek control in that area. I don't have Canoptek control in the Matrix over in this deployment zone yet, because not only are they OC0, they are still battle shocked. But they will give me Behind Enemy Lines, since Behind Enemy Lines doesn't check battle shock, and Canoptek Tomb Sentinel to do the same. Otherwise, Psychomancers go crazy again, battle shocking this Dread Knight and this Dread Knight, so we're able to move away. And now we're going to do some shooting and see if we can't do some damage and, do some damage, basically. So we rolled right into the combat. We'll talk about some of the shooting, because not a lot happened, just a little bit of damage. So the Doomstalker was able to do a bit of damage to this Dread Knight, and then the combined efforts of exploding Scarabs and the lethal hits on rerolls were able to bring this guy down to 2. And Dread Knights seem to struggle a little bit with the Scarabs. Even though they get through, they still got to do that damage, and that 4 wounds can soak up some attacks. So we still have 2 Scarabs left in here, and this Dread Knight down to 2 wounds. Over here, we were able to pick up the final Terminator, so that will at least give us the points for Overwhelming Force on that objective, a little bit of it, the baby Overwhelming Force. And we lost a Wraith to the Grandmaster, who has 2 wounds left after getting chewed on by some spiders. Speaking of something getting chewed on by spiders, this Dread Knight over here, we charged. We failed to do any damage on the tank shock. 1 spider chewed on the Dread Knight, and the Dread Knight turned around and clubbed both spiders into oblivion. So that is going to end it for my turn. We will score overwhelming force a little bit, but mostly we get the behind enemy lines for the scarabs and the centipede. All right, over to Lane and his bottom of turn 4.
Turn 4, I pulled overwhelming force and behind enemy lines. So basically, I have to make sure this guy doesn't get destroyed. He passed his battle shock, but he's only got 2 wounds left. So I can't let these scarabs survive to the fight phase because they will just explode and kill me. And I also can't move because then I get overwatched by this guy and he will be hitting on 5s and re-rolling everything. So he's just going to stay there and hopefully he can kill the scarabs and kill this character and get me behind enemy lines and overwhelming force. And we're also going to do some shooting into these critters. They're on these objectives. So we got the wraiths and the spiders on this objectives. And so I brought in my other Grandmaster there. So we're going to try to do some shooting.
Lane picked him up at the end of the turn and brought the Grandmaster back down over there.
Right. Shenanigans. On to my shoots. All right, shooting, we picked up the last of the wraiths and one of the spiders here. And the Nemesis Dread Knight yonder, I just put everything into the scarabs because I had to make sure they were gone. Otherwise, they would just auto-explode and take those last 2 wounds off of me. No problem. So, charge o'clock. We're going to see if we can get in here and mix it up a little bit. So, successful on our charges here. Grandmaster using his ability to reroll hits and wounds and damage once per turn into vehicle monster did manage to pick up the centipede. And then the Nemesis Dread Knight here did tank shock on his charge and got that last spider down to 1 and then just slapped him pretty good. So that's it. We scored overwhelming force. We did pick up multiple units on objectives, and then we got 1 unit behind enemy lines over there with that lone Nemesis Dread Knight with 2 wounds on him. On to DJ's turn.
So just rolled through my final turn. I got engage on all fronts and assassinate. So being the fact that all the objective markers are now gone, except for this one, and I couldn't score it, there's no points for me going after it. So instead, we just moved Mr. Psychomancer back here, got the centipede over here, left him to sit still here so this guy didn't disappear, and then moved the Doomstalker up so that I was able to shoot and take out with him. Actually, he didn't do well. It was the Sentinel that was able to finish off the little Grandmaster in here and give us Assassinate. So we'll score 10 on the turn for our secondaries and pass it over to Lane to finish up the game.
For my final turn, I pulled Cleanse and Extend Battle Lines. Went right through the turn here, did the whole turn because there wasn't a whole lot going on. But this Dread Knight cleansed because it's not in my deployment zone, so I got points for cleansing there. This Dread Knight moved up and cleansed and got me 15 points on primary because that's the Omega, so I controlled that at the end. And then this Dread Knight came over, shot his side cannon into the Gribbly Creepy Crawly guy, got him down to 3 wounds, and then shot the Scarabs with the silencer, got them down to 1 wound, charged in and finished off the Grib. What is it? The Sentinel.
Sentinel.
I keep calling him.
He's just Gribbly.
Yeah,
he is Gribbly.
Killed the Gribbly in combat. He exploded and finished off the Sentinel for me.
Scary.
So thanks, Gribbly. So actually, the damage output by the Grey Knights was still pretty good, even though I took a hard hit early in the game. But DJ was able to outscore us, obviously, because I was shut out on primary until turn 5 here. So final score is Necrons 81, Grey Knights 61. Not too bad considering how hard I get hit early on. But follow us over to the post-game battle reports that we talk a little bit about. And you get to hear DJ gloat about his victory. All right, catch you guys over there. Bye.